Have you ever really thought about the water coming out of your tap? I mean, there's this hidden geological story flowing right into your home, affecting everything from your appliances to your health. To see if this story is about you, let's start with a couple of quick questions. Okay, first one. Do you ever wash your hands and afterwards they just feel kind of slimy, like you can't quite rinse all the soap off? And how about this one? You pull your drinking glasses out of the dishwasher, and instead of being sparkling clean, they're covered in these little white spots. Sound familiar? Well, if you're nodding along right now, you've been dealing with a super common household mystery. And the culprit behind it all? It's almost definitely something called hard water. So what on earth is hard water anyway? Let's dive in and uncover what's really hiding in your tap. At its core, the definition is actually pretty simple. Hard water is just water that's picked up a lot of dissolved minerals. We're talking mainly calcium and magnesium. It's not dirty or contaminated, it's just mineral-packed. So that slimy feeling on your hands, it's actually a tiny chemical reaction happening in your sink. The calcium in the water reacts with your soap and creates this film called soap scum. So instead of getting that rich, bubbly lather you expect, you get this sticky stuff that clings to your skin, your shower, you name it. It also means you have to use way more soap and detergent to get anything clean. But here's the twist. It's not all bad. Like a lot of things in life, hard water has its pros and cons. So let's break down the good versus the bad. On the nuisance side of things, you've got that soap scum we talked about, the potential for clogged pipes, and it can even make your clothes wear out faster. It's a real pain. But on the flip side, those same minerals, calcium and magnesium, are actually really good for you. The World Health Organization has even pointed out that drinking hard water can be a pretty decent source for your daily mineral intake. Now, the biggest problem with hard water really shows up when you add heat to the equation. Heating it up causes those dissolved minerals to turn back into solids, creating these chalky, crusty deposits we call scale. If you've ever looked inside an old tea kettle, you've seen it. Now just picture that same gunk building up inside your water heater. You know, the US Geological Survey has the perfect analogy for this. They say you should think of scale as cholesterol for your pipes. It just silently builds up over time, making the opening narrower and narrower. And that cholesterol comes with some real costs. It can shorten the lifespan of your expensive appliances, clog up your plumbing, drop your water pressure to a trickle, and make your water heater work overtime, which, you guessed it, raises your energy bills. It's like this hidden tax on your entire home. Okay. So where do these minerals even come from? And how do we actually measure how hard water is? Let's get into the science of it. It all comes down to geology. Water is an amazing solvent, so as it travels underground through layers of soil and rock, especially rock like limestone, it just dissolves minerals like calcium and magnesium and carries them along for the ride, straight to your faucet. And of course, there's an official scale for this. Scientists measure hardness in milligrams of calcium carbonate per liter. Basically, anything under 60 is considered soft. But once you get over 120, you're officially in hard territory. And if you're over 180, well, you've got very hard water. All right, let's zoom out. Since this is all about geology, where you live makes a huge difference. So where in the United States is the water at the hardest? So, is your water hard or soft? The answer is literally in the rocks, right under your feet. It all depends on what kind of geology that water had to travel through to get to you. When you look at the data from across the country, you can see these really clear patterns. Hard water is super common in places like the Midwest, the Southwest, and through the Rocky Mountains. And why? Because those areas are sitting on top of what are called carbonate aquifers, huge underground layers of rock that are just loaded with calcium and magnesium. Okay, so we've gone through what it is, what it does, and where it comes from. Let's pull it all together and figure out the big takeaway here. When you boil it all down, here's the most important thing to remember. Hard water is a nuisance, but it's not a health concern. It can be tough on your house, for sure, but for most people, it's perfectly safe to drink. And hey, as we saw, it might even be a little bit good for you. So in the end, the water coming from your faucet is carrying a story with it, a story about its long journey through the earth. It's a little piece of the geology that makes up the place you call home. So the next time you see those spots on your glasses, just ask yourself, what story is my top telling me?